Words from the core of the earth. Okay, the poets. Filthy glues. Heads up. Look around. All in fields. Fields glued to the nation. A nation that was once clean, now baptized in debt. Let's bow our heads in shame and no time to blame any name. To a nation that brews on letters. When disaster hatches, we then issue letters for serious actions to rescue survivors. How long shall we incubate these ill practices? Practices that doesn't tell a good story of a nation injected with good morals. We need to right the wrongs. The nation weeps when there to sort at its feet. Nature bleeds profusely cause dirt cut deep its throat with sharp edges of rapanda and pin of refuse. You know the right thing to do, but I simply refuse. I'm sorry, future generation. I'm sorry we couldn't leave behind clean nation. I'm sorry we couldn't leave behind clean waters, clean environments. We're too busy to charge our cleanliness battery. Rewind, we're too busy to charge our cleanliness battery. So we went low on clean environment. But we preach cleanliness is next to godliness and climate it with off a tree and alms given. But when we take out cleanliness that is next to godliness, it only draws us closer to death and illness. We kneel and pray for protection and cure against diseases. But we forget that what we dump tends to be the predator borrowing the diseases, and we, the prey. Dumping of plastic is causing a great panic if you don't employ measures that are drastic. The playback will be tragic. Let me reboot your mind to June 3rd, where the old man of Asamando released the pungent smell we put to sleep our beloved ones. Flash crocheting its way through homes, destroying properties, or because it was being invited by choke artists. Little rain and we face the full wrath of flood. We need to bury that attitude and mindset that the nation doesn't belong to anyone, so you can dump anywhere, anyhow. A typical Ghanaian will continue to dump because no one is watching. Where lies your love for the country? They'll continue to feed the gutters with rubbish because they feel like, mind you, your actions some way somehow send someone's beloved to the cemetery. So before you drop that letter, take a moment and ask yourself, is that part of Islamic teaching? My Christian brother full of Christ, is that Christ-like? To you, my religious leaders, bravo for showing us the light. But there's one thing I wish you throw more light on. There's one chapter that is missing and you fail to preach on. That chapter is cleanliness. You know the part, so leaders, preachers, spend some time and teach us. You serve as the mediator between God and mankind, so direct us. A change of attitude is all that we need. Salvation is not all about a big fat sown seed, it's also about cleanliness. We complain of poor living, but have forgotten that the millions that could have been used to develop the nation, the same millions we use on Clean Ghana campaigns. We ain't ready to stop, but expect a change. But change won't be realized if you don't change. We lift our feet off the paddles of cleanliness, and when the chains are broken, it's only diseases outbreak we encounter. We turn to debaters when we are troubled by disaster puzzles and land so many complaints, and become government haters when we are responsible for the letters. So why don't you do the right thing when no one is watching you? Look around, see what your actions are causing. All the properties the floods are destroying, all the mosquitoes the choke gutters are bringing. When are all these ending? You dress up, go to church, give offering. By sake of your bad attitude, the nation is still suffering. So before you drop it, ask yourself, is that going to save lives or destroy them? Sanitation isn't the sole responsibility of the government. Sanitation is the entire responsibility of the nation. Act right to save lives. It's okay, the poet.